friends, Allie here. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to crochet this Farmhouse Table Runner. This is the latest pattern to my Farmhouse collection. In my last video, we made placemats, and I also have a farmhouse pot holder, dish set, and coasters. So if you enjoy this pattern, then check out all the others in this collection. The Farmhouse Table Runner features a beautiful texture that's easy to create and a fun twisted border. I'll be making my table runner in 3 colors, but feel free to use as many or few colors as you'd like. This table runner measures approximately 12 inches by 56 inches, but the size can easily be adjusted to be any size you want. I'll be using Dishie yarn, which is a medium 4-weight cotton yarn. It's durable, soft, and machine washable, and comes in a variety of beautiful colors. If you want to follow along with the free written crochet pattern, you can find it on my website, theturtletrunk.com, or get the ad-free printable PDF from my Etsy and Ravelry shops. I'll leave links to everything in the description box. Now, if you're ready to get started, let's head over to our supply list and let's get making. For this tutorial, you'll need medium 4-weight cotton yarn. I'll be using Dishie in the colors Swan, Sunbaked, and Mushroom. You will also need a 5mm or H crochet hook, a yarn needle, and scissors. I'm going to start with color B, which is this orange color, and begin by making a slip knot on your hook, and we're going to chain 36. To make a chain, yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. If you wanted to make your table runner wider, you can chain any even number. My foundation chain, so I'm going to turn, and for row 1 we'll be working back into our chain. Starting in the second chain from the hook, here is our first chain, here is the second. We're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. Make sure you're keeping your slip stitches fairly loose, as we'll need to work back into them, and if they're too tight, it's going to be difficult to work back into them. So slip stitch by inserting your hook into the second chain from the hook, yarn over and pull through the chain and through the loop on your hook. Here we have 1 slip stitch. Now in the next chain, we are going to half double crochet. To half double crochet, yarn over and insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And there we have 1 half double crochet. Now we're just going to repeat these 2 stitches across, slip stitch into the next chain, half double crochet in the next, and we will end the row with a slip stitch. This is called the even moss stitch, and it's going to give us a really beautiful texture. So continue repeating these 2 stitches across, and I'll catch up with you at the end of the row. I'm just coming up to the end of row 1, and in the last chain we'll work a slip stitch, then chain 1 and turn. For row 2, we'll slip stitch into the first stitch. The chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so work the first stitch into the last slip stitch from the previous row. And make sure you're working into the top 2 loops on the stitches. The half double crochet stitches have a 3rd loop on the front of the stitch, and that is what makes the kind of ribbed pattern. So make sure you're not working into that front loop and only working into the top 2 loops of the stitches. So slip stitch into the first stitch, and then half double crochet into the next stitch. And we're going to repeat these 2 stitches across, ending with a slip stitch. So slip stitch into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, and repeat all the way across for row 2. I'm just coming up to the end of row 2. We're going to slip stitch into the last stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to repeat row 2 for the remainder of the pattern, and then we'll add a border. So repeat row 2 for a total of 216 rows, or until you reach your desired length. Here's a visual of how I'm organizing my colors. I'm going to change colors every 24 rows. So mine will have 9 color blocks, starting with this orange. Then I'll go white, brown, white, orange, white, brown, white, orange. If you're wanting to change the length of your table runner, you can either add or subtract rows from each color block, or just add or subtract color blocks. So I'm going to continue on repeating row 2, so slip stitch into the first stitch, half double crochet into the next, repeat those 2 stitches across ending with a slip stitch, then chain 1 and turn. And I'll catch back up with you at the end of row 24, and I'll show you there how to change colors. I'm just coming up to the end of row 24, and on the last slip stitch of the row, I'm going to change to color A, which for me is white. So I'm going to insert my hook into the last stitch, drop my current color, and pick up my new color. Pull through with my new color, color A, and continuing with color A now. So chain 1 and turn, and you can cut off the old color now too, leaving a long enough tail end to weave in, and you can either weave in your ends as you go, work over top of them, or weave them in at the end. I'm going to weave mine in at the end. And now I'm just going to continue repeating row 2 again for another 24 rows before I change colors again to color C. So just continue on repeating row 2, changing colors every 24 rows, and I'll catch back up with you at the end of row 216. I'm just coming up to the end of row 216. Here is what my table runner is looking like. I have 9 color blocks and a total of 216 rows. And now we can move on to our border. So on the last stitch of this row, I'm going to change colors one last time for my border. So I'll be using color A for my border. So insert your hook, drop your current color, pick up your new color, and pull through with the new color, and chain 1. And we are not going to turn our work. And before we move on to the border, I'm just going to quickly weave in all of my ends, and then I'll come back and do the border. Our border will consist of 3 rounds. So for round 1, we are just going to single crochet around. We'll work 3 single crochets into each corner, then work 1 single crochet into the edge of each row on the sides and into each stitch across the bottom and top. So starting in this first corner, work 3 single crochet stitches into the same stitch we're joined to. To single crochet, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. Then work another 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So now we have this nice round corner, and we'll work down the left side of the table runner. So work 1 single crochet into each row down. If you're having a hard time seeing where each row is, look at the lines or ribbing created from our half double crochet stitches. Between those lines will be 2 rows, so just work 2 stitches between those front loops that are popping out. So continue working 1 single crochet into each row down, and I'll catch back up with you at our next corner. I'm coming up to the next corner, so work 3 single crochets into the bottom corner. Then going across the bottom of the table runner, we'll work 1 single crochet into each stitch across the bottom. And then I'll let you continue the rest of round 1 on your own, and I'll catch back up with you at the end of the round. At the end of round 1, we'll join with a slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet we made. And chain 1. And now for round 2, we're going to half double crochet into each stitch around and work 3 half double crochets into each corner stitch. So we'll work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch. Then our next stitch is our first corner. So the corner stitch will be the second of the 3 single crochets we worked from the previous round. So work 3 half double crochets in that corner stitch. Then we'll work 1 half double crochet into each stitch across until our next corner. So I'll continue on and meet you at our next corner. I'm just coming up to the next corner, so here I have my 3 single crochets from the previous round. In the first stitch, I'll work 1 half double crochet, then in the second, I'll work 3 half double crochets. Then we'll work 1 half double crochet into each stitch across until the next corner. I'm going to continue on and I'll meet you at the end of round 2. At the end of round 2, join with a slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet of the round, then chain 1. On our last round of the border, we are going to crochet the crab stitch, which is also known as a reverse single crochet. And like the name suggests, we'll be working a single crochet stitch in reverse. So instead of working our border around to the left, we'll be working it to the right, so the opposite way around our table runner. This will create a twisted stitch that will give our table runner a really cool edge. So we're going to start by working into the top of the last half double crochet we made. So not where we joined, but where the last half double crochet was. So insert your hook into that stitch behind us, and we'll work a single crochet. So pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops on your hook. And there we have 1 crab stitch or 1 reverse single crochet. And we're going to work 1 of these into each stitch around, working to the right. And we're not going to be increasing in the corners anymore. So just work 1 into each stitch around the table runner. Once we get a few more stitches done, you'll be able to see more clearly how cool this stitch looks. It just has a fun twist to it and makes for a great border and will give our table runner a fun finished look. So just continue working 1 crab stitch or 1 reverse single crochet into each stitch around, and I'll catch back up with you at the end of round 3. At the end of round 3, we're going to join to the same space that we worked our first crab stitch. So not to the top of the first crab stitch, but to the same space to the left of it. This will create a cleaner join. So join with a slip stitch, then you can cut off your yarn and pull out your hook. You can then weave in all of your ends, and then we're done. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget you can find this pattern and many more free crochet patterns on my website, theturtletrunk.com. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.